So today's awards luncheon presentations, we've really got two awards that we'll be presenting today. One is the John Udy's Vision and Excellence Award, and I'll tell you about that one in just a second. And the other one is the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame. And in the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame today, we'll be inducting several new folks into that honorable institution. So we've got a couple of folks who are going to come up here and tell you a little bit more about that in just a second. But I'd like to start out to tell you a little bit about the John Udy's Vision and Excellence Award. Now, some of you knew John, and John was one of the founders of Greystone.Net, and some of you are newer to the industry and might not have had a chance to know John. But we honor him by putting this award together every year because John was a visionary. He founded the Internet Conference as well as Greystone.Net, and in 1996, the first conference was at Bally's. And Joanne was just telling me that she remembers running down the road to try and find a sign place so they could get a sign to put over the outside of Bally's. They went to one of those places that makes like wedding signs, congratulations, John and Joanne, that kind of thing. And that was the Greystone Group. November 1996 was the sign that they found to be able to put up on Bally's. That was the first healthcare internet conference. And at that time, John said, this is really going to be big. The internet is really going to have an impact on healthcare, and it's going to have an impact on healthcare marketing. And obviously, over the course of time, his vision was true. And as we sit here today, and there are hundreds of us in the audience and hundreds of us who are dealing with the issues that we face related to building websites and driving patient volume and all of the things that we do as marketers and communicators and IT folks. That was just a vision back in 1996 or an idea, and really some folks thought that was pretty fringe, pretty crazy that this internet would actually have such an impact on all of us. But John saw it. John was a great person and always a leader. He would have loved the presentation this morning and laughed his tail off at it. And so each year we honor John and some of the things that John stood for. This award is presented to individuals who embody those same ideals as John did for excellence. It's those who believe in and act upon the idea that excellence could only be attained if you cared more than others thought was wise, if you risked more than others thought was safe, if you dreamt more than others thought was practical, and if you expected more than others thought was possible. The ideal candidate for this award is someone who has a lasting and significant contribution to the healthcare internet. And I'm not going to tell you who it is yet. At the local, national, or state level, exceeds the expectations for someone in that position, and that's something that we all knew about John. He was someone who always believed that you could be more than you are, and he was really more and exceeded his own personal expectations, I believe. He was always beyond the person that he was and bigger than that, and he believed that out of you too. So if you ran into John in the hallway at one of these internet conferences, he was believing that you were the next person that was going to take this whole thing to the next level. He did that for me. He did that for many of you in the audience. And he would do that to anyone that he met. He always believed that we had the potential to be more than we are. So we might still be back on are we back on the slides, Nathan? Thank you. Also, this award goes to candidates who are thought of or have attributes that would be attributes that we would have assigned to John. Exuding excellence, being innovative, being visionary, trailblazing, groundbreakers, those kinds of large statements were the kinds of things that we look for in this candidate. Someone who's both influential in their own organization and influential outside their organization. And also the candidate must have a demonstrated willingness to share his or her expertise within the industry and also outside of the industry. So someone who's really not just doing this for themselves and their own company or their own organization, but also for others as well. And so before we announce the award winner for this year, I want to introduce Joanne Udy's, John's wife, and Joanne's going to come up and say a few words. Let's all give her a hand. And Joanne, I'm going to hold on to the clicker so that I can fight it.
Thank you. It gives me pleasure every year and lots of pride to be at the 18th Annual Healthcare Internet Conference. I would again like to thank Greystone particularly, all of our wonderful sponsors, and all of you for continuing to support the conference and for keeping John's vision and spirit going forward. He would be very, very proud. Mike failed to tell you that our very first one in '96, we had 75 people. So you can see in 18 years how his vision keeps going forward. Today, it's my honor and privilege to present the 2014 John Udy's Vision and Excellence Award honoree, Karen Corrigan. Over the course of her career, Karen has impacted our industry as a health system executive, a chief strategy officer, a chief marketing executive, an entrepreneur, and a published author. Karen has always positioned marketing as a strategy that drives growth, innovation, and improved financial performance. As founder and CEO of Corrigan Partners, Karen provides strategic planning, business development, brand and marketing counsel to a variety of clients, including health systems, physician organizations, startup companies, and technology partners. Karen has always embraced John's philosophy that learning and innovation go hand in hand. She's an innovator, a pioneer in the industry with a vision for the future. She has enthusiasm and passion for bringing people and ideas together. It was very important to John to take time to teach, mentor, and share knowledge with others. He and Karen shared great ideas and collaborated on numerous projects over the years. Many of you probably don't know, but before John was in healthcare, he was a university professor and taught marketing in an MBA program. Maybe that explains why he was the way he was, huh? This is one of the main reasons, though, that he started the annual Healthcare Internet Conference. He wanted to establish a forum where we would come together, share best practices, and learn from each other, and really have a strong educational purpose for this conference. A few years ago, Karen started a similar forum, Innovator Studio, where she invited chief marketing officers to come together to explore new trends, to be early adapters, and to be on the learning edge. Participants would dive into emerging markets and automation and social media, brand building, digital marketing techniques, and other hot topics. Karen is also a believer that healthcare can learn from other industries. So she invited Apple and Starbucks and others to join the group. Throughout Karen's career, she has been a role model and a mentor to many. She shares knowledge, teaches by example, and helps others find cutting-edge opportunities to succeed. Karen is active in many professional organizations, as well as a frequent national speaker. In fact, Karen will be presenting on the Mobile Health Explosion after lunch, right next door. She's authored numerous articles and books, including The Complete Guide to Service Line Management. Karen is also a publisher and lead blogger for Chief Marketing Officer. During her 40-plus years in the healthcare industry, Karen has been a visionary and a change agent, with a commitment to excellence and enormous enthusiasm for her work, and a source of inspiration to many. Please join me in honoring this year's recipient of the John Udy's Vision and Excellence Award, Karen Corrigan.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Greystone. I just want to make a few comments. Words really can't adequately convey what an honor this is to receive this award named after John Udy's. I've known John for many, many years, and He was a friend and also an advisor, someone I looked up to early in my career and who played a role in how it advanced. John was a pace setter in the field of healthcare marketing, but more importantly, he was a pioneer, a true pioneer in embracing technology early on, as you heard, to transform the practice of marketing. He knew it would lead in that direction. For those of you who knew John, and those of you who are benefiting from all the work he's done, John had a generous spirit. He had a remarkable ability to grasp the future and to really kind of pull out ideas for where that future might go. And he also had the courage to challenge conventional thinking and to challenge us as if we fell into those ruts of conventional thinking. These were his gifts to the healthcare industry and to each of us that continue to serve it today. So I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to learn from John, and especially for his friendship and his counsel over all the years that I knew him. I want to thank the Greystone family, Joanne, Kathy, Mike, all of you, for this recognition and for all that you do to help all of us continue to learn and push the boundaries of what's possible in healthcare. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations again to Karen, and thanks again for all those nice words and things that were said about John as well. Next, we're on to the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame Awards, and we're going to pull up that slide deck in a second, and I'm going to turn this over to Pam Riddell and Neil Lincoln, and they are going to take the program from here. Who wants this thing? I don't. Just, you have to be careful. These slides are crazy. It is dangerous. They've got a life of their own. Okay, here you go, Pam.
I'm good at delegating.
Which way do you click here? That one, okay. Good afternoon. I'm Pam Riddell and Neil Lincoln. So my colleagues have been coaching me on how to talk to all of you today. And after this morning, they've been really encouraging me to tell one of my favorite jokes. So here we go. Knock, knock. Who's there? HIPAA. I can't tell you.
Well done.
Thank you. So
On that note.
Let's get started with our Hall of Fame Awards, which I like to call the Oscars of the Healthcare Internet Conference. So our Hall of Fame began in 2011 was our inaugural year. This is our 4th year honoring innovation. The Hall of Fame was established to preserve the history of healthcare technology and ensure that early innovation and risk-taking in our industry is not forgotten. I would say that's a great mission because it also inspires us to keep taking those risks and reach even higher. We're going out on the fringe, right? So each year we collect nominations for this recognition, and the honorees are chosen by a board of judges. I'd like to recognize my fellow judges who are accomplished and progressive contributors themselves. If you could stand if you're a judge. I would also like to thank our retiring judges. And if you could stand as well. We appreciate your service and your commitment. And if you have a passion for learning about and recognizing others in our industry and telling jokes, we are accepting applications for judges. The submission period runs from February to March. The term is 2 years, and you'll be responsible for selecting inductees and upholding the organization's mission and values. You can express your interest by going to our website at HIHOF.com, and there's also a table in the area outside the Trailblazer rooms. So Neil will now tell you more about how we choose our candidates.
Okay. Thank you very much. So as you'll see in a moment, we try to induct candidates in one of three categories: innovative individuals, innovative provider organizations, and innovative products and services. I have to tell you, the bar is high. These are the criteria that we use. I'm not going to read each of those to you. Most of you in here, I think, are literate and probably read the slide. But the point is that this is not just this year's award winner. It's organizations and individuals that have made a truly lasting and demonstrable impact on our business, and that they're willing and eager to share what they've done and help advance the industry that we are all a part of. I think it's best illustrated by looking at the list of past winners. I think we have a couple of the innovative individuals in the room. Ed, are you here? Stand up. Congratulations, Ed. Mark Gothberg, are you with us, Mark? I'd like to think that John Udes and Dr. Coop are off having a beer together somewhere. But so at any rate, it's a noteworthy group of folks and organizations, and these are some of the past organizations, award winners, all the kind of folks we come listen to at this conference, the folks that we try to aspire to do some of the things that they do. So the bar's high. In fact, it's so high that we don't always induct candidates into every category. If we can't get at least half of the judges' votes for a particular winner in a category, we don't award one in that category, and that was indeed the case last year. This year's inductees: innovative individuals, Wendy Sue Swanson; innovative provider organizations, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and University of Utah Healthcare; and innovative product and service is Kids Health. I'm really honored to talk a little bit about Wendy Sue Swanson. You may know her better as Seattle Mama Doc. Believe it or not, her very popular blog will celebrate its 5th anniversary next week. That's a long time to be doing what she's been doing. And if you look at what else is on the slide, she doesn't let a heck of a lot of grass grow between her feet, right? She's active in a lot of boards. She's on the news media many times. Her Twitter feed has about 24,000 followers and was named one of the best of 2013. She published her first book earlier this year, and in her spare time, she sees patients. She was not able to join us today, but has provided us with a video thank you for this award, and so please roll tape.
Hey, Scottsdale. Thanks so much for having me join you virtually, and of course, thank you so much for the induction into my very first Hall of Fame. I'm really thankful for all of your partnership and, of course, leadership for those of you in the audience using new technology and, of course, helping champion digital health in the health space. For me, the journey started really organically about 5 years ago. In 2009, I started authoring Seattle Mama Doc, a pediatrician-authored mommy blog for Seattle Children's Hospital. I really just wanted to tell the real story. It was becoming clear to me that families and patients were going online, and they were confusing experiences that people had with the expertise that science and healthcare professionals really held. My goal was write a mommy blog, but be a pediatrician, connect with new evidence, connect with experts at Seattle Children's, and leverage the network and reach of a large academic foundation, hospital, and research institute to try to translate what was going on in healthcare. And through that journey, it became more and more obvious to me that the patient voice, patient communities, and all the new and novel solutions that were happening because of profound entrepreneurs and risk-taking on the outside needed to kind of come into the walls. So back in October of 2013, I founded Digital Health at Seattle Children's. I'm now the executive director, running a small team. We're really trying to bring in new startup technology, pilot those technologies with patients, families, clinicians, and surgeons, and really disrupt how we bring in new solutions. In the last year, we built the virtual handshake, a new technology that we can deliver education before families and patients even come in. We can then educate them just like we always would when they're in the clinic or in the hospital. And then after families go home in a community, we can resend new education and information for families to review as a community together. I really believe that we have a lot of work to do to penetrate the walls of hospital systems and get these new and novel solutions in rapidly. And I ultimately believe we've got a great opportunity. Thanks so much. Check me out on Twitter and please connect. I'm Seattle Mama Doc. I'm also on LinkedIn and on Facebook. Would love to learn more about your journey and any ways that we could partner and move the needle forward. Have a great conference.
She's an inspiration. That was great. I'm now proud to announce our innovator provider organization is the University of Utah. In 2012, UUHC became the first health system in the country to post online physician reviews and comments. They used data from more than 40,000 patient surveys to rate its physicians on 9 measures using a 5-star system. Feedback is posted on the Find a Doctor tool and is used to improve all areas of the patient experience. UUHC's achievement has been covered by many news outlets, including The Economist, Becker's Hospital Review, and MedPage Today. I remember attending a session on this topic last year, and the excitement and the buzz that ensued, well, especially with me. If you ask my colleagues at LVHN, I talk about this case study all the time. So I am honored to present this award to Brian Gresh, the Senior Director of Interactive Marketing and Web, who is accepting on behalf of the organization. Congratulations.
So on behalf of University of Utah Healthcare, I'd like to thank the Board of Judges and Greystone for the honor and the recognition. 3 years ago, I proposed this idea of putting patient feedback and ratings on our physician profile pages, and it was met with just a little bit of resistance from certain people in the organization. So the great thing, though, about really complex healthcare systems, and especially academic medical systems, is that the path, I think, to innovation isn't always a straight line from point A to point B. It's kind of twisty and it's messy, and so it gives you the ability to find other people in the organization that have that same idea or that shared vision. And in our organization, that was our Chief Medical Officer, Tom Miller, and Chrissy Daniels, who's our Director of Special Projects, and they really believed in this idea of transparency and providing patients with more information so they could make better healthcare decisions. It also took really great leadership in our Senior Vice President for Health Sciences, Vivian Lee. She really got behind this idea and really challenged the organization to move forward and to stop thinking internally and to really start thinking externally. And so, combined, we were able to kind of roll this out and convince our organization. I think as patients have more access to data and information, we all have to become more comfortable with sharing on our own websites and providing that information to patients. And if we're not comfortable doing it ourselves, we're going to have to get comfortable with other people doing it for us. So, if you're working on a transparency project, whether it's around pricing or quality or patient satisfaction, I would encourage you, don't get frustrated. Look around your organization and find the people that you can connect with and help move that forward. So, thank you.
Our next inductee is the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, affectionately known as CHOP. This is an organization that is unquestionably at the top of the list when it comes to clinical excellence, and those of us in this space know them also as unquestionably at the top in terms of their internet marketing capabilities. One of the first organizations to really adopt the web center concept that has become, I think, so popular. It's certainly a best practice in the organization, and the site for kids that they launched, Health Information for Kids, was groundbreaking and totally innovative and remains so today. But the only thing I don't like about Children's Hospital of Philadelphia is that now that I'm with the Children's Hospital, as soon as I get back on Thursday, I'm going to be asked, when will Children's Hospital of Wisconsin get named to the Hall of Fame? And my answer will be, as soon as we deserve it, just like CHOP does. So it's my honor to introduce to you their Director of Web Strategy, James Janet.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to start off by saying thank you to the panel and certainly thank you to Greystone. We're so honored by this recognition. It means a lot, not just to me, but to the entire team. I've been over at CHOP now for just over 3 years, and I'm really proud to be part of an organization where innovation and research is really just a core part of what goes on every day. You know, from the clinical side of things, our researcher physicians are regularly coming up with breakthroughs. They have this whole concept of bench to bedside where they're constantly coming up with things around fetal surgery, cancer treatment, genetics, and the list goes on from there. And that theme of innovation and change is, like I said, present throughout CHOP and certainly present. It was present before with the web team, well before my time, as well as now, you know, today and hopefully into the future. You know, from the web perspective, again, well before I got there, I want to say about 9 or 10 years ago, this whole notion of Kids Health Galaxy came up. And it wasn't just based on some crazy idea, it was actually based on real needs that the team at the time was seeing from patients and their parents. You know, they wanted to do something that could just make that hospital experience just at least a little bit better. And they were very successful with that. I mean, to this day, the Kids Health Galaxy section of the site gets a tremendous amount of traffic. It's regularly referenced by our clinicians as well as our family life specialists at the hospital. So we're thrilled to still have that going strong. You know, more recently, we launched a redesign of CHOP.edu, which was exciting for us, and as most of you know from going through the redesign process, quite a labor of love. For us, we didn't just want to put a fresh coat of paint on the site. We really, as we said internally, very technical term, but we ripped the guts out of it. So, you know, completely took a look at content inventory and audit and tried some new things for us. We went completely mobile first. We based a lot of the site on taxonomy for navigation and everything. So very different, and we feel innovative approach to the site. We're only about 2.5 weeks or so in, but you know, feedback's been positive, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. You know, all of this innovative work, I mean, it's really a result of a great team. My web team is just so dedicated and so intense about doing a great job. But even beyond that, we've got the support of our marketing and PR friends as well as IS and senior leadership. So I feel like that whole mix really contributes to all of this, and certainly this is their honor, and I really appreciate that. And just in closing, I wanted to thank all of you. I feel like as peers, all of the great work and the great innovations that are coming out of your individual areas really contribute to our combined success and really push us all to continue to innovate and do better. So I feel like without that, it would be a lot harder to keep moving ahead. So, so thank you. I really appreciate it.
Next, I'm pleased to recognize Kids Health as our innovative product and service. Kids Health was founded by Dr. Neil Eisenberg and launched nearly 20 years ago in 1995. And what a resource it's been for parents, children, teens, and providers. Kids Health licenses a comprehensive online library of information about the physical, emotional, and behavioral health of children and teens. The information is written for parents, kids, teens, and integrates fun and interactive elements and animations about how the body works. Parents can explore the same topics in greater detail. All Kids Health information is led by a physician editorial staff who are experienced at creating content free of medical jargon. Articles are reviewed by at least 2 pediatricians and subspecialists, and that's ongoing. I know how valuable Kids Health is. LVHN's own pediatricians, who are very picky about their clinical material, have requested that Kids Health be a resource that they can share with their patients. And our own community members have told us that the information is extremely helpful and something they would seek out and read. So on behalf of our judges and the kids and families who have benefited from your resource, I would like to present the award to Jeff Santoro, who's accepting on behalf of Kids Health.
Thanks. Just a handshake. Just a handshake, I hear you. I don't blame you. Thank you. This is great to be here today. And on behalf of Dr. Neil Eisenberg, who is the founder of Kids Health, and our devoted team of talented editors, graphic artists, IT specialists, and many others who support our efforts, I humbly accept this honor. And to my friend, Stephanie Cannon, who's on her phone, from Nationwide Children's Hospital, and to all the distinguished members of the nominating committee and the board of judges, I extend my most sincere and heartfelt thank you for this prestigious recognition. Kids Health now joins the ranks of some of the most impressive healthcare leaders who've won this award in the past. So, not to mention, 20 years ago, I visited a gypsy fortune teller who took my hand and attempted to read my future. She told me that I was going to be poor and unhappy until I reached my 46th year of living. Well, this is not exactly the fortune I was hoping I was going to have. So I ever so eloquently asked her, after my 46th year, what happens next? She responded with a smirky smile and said, well, nothing. By that point in your life, you'll be used to being poor and unhappy. Well, obviously that particular fortune teller did not see this awesome event happening. For today, I am the richest and happiest of men because Kids Health is part of the Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame. The Healthcare Internet Hall of Fame award means really an awful lot to me personally and to Kids Health. For me, I strongly believe in the concept of consistently doing for others to make the world a better place. Organizations like Kids Health epitomize this thinking every single day. People like the great John Udes led this ideal throughout his life and now as part of his everlasting legacy. Kids Health is an innovative group of devoted healthcare stalwarts. We strive to develop easy-to-read and understand health education through the web, social media, and via the EHR. One of our main goals is to provide exceptional health education to families that ultimately gives knowledge and comfort. Now, this may not be news to many of you in the audience today. After all, isn't it all of our jobs to ultimately super serve our patients, families, and communities with world-class care and information? I surely believe this to be true. The HCIC continues to be one of the leading and must-attend events in our industry. Kathy and her team at Greystone have worked tirelessly to bring together some of the best and most forward-thinking organizations, presenters, healthcare professionals, year after year, with engaging keynotes and breakout sessions, with lots of valuable case studies and takeaways. These learning opportunities are beneficial to every one of us. I would like to take a moment to express my personal thanks and best wishes to Greystone for continued success. I anticipate coming year and year for many more years. So in closing, I just want to say that the healthcare in general is ever-changing. From technology to people, this is a good thing. It keeps us all on our toes every day, and all of us need to stay ahead of the curve and consistently deliver nothing less than our best. Our patients and families deserve it. So thank you once again, and stay healthy.
Thank you, and congratulations to all of our 2014 class of inductees. The nominations for the next class will begin in March. You can learn more on the website, as I mentioned earlier, and visit our display, as I mentioned earlier. And also, I just want to acknowledge that there are a lot of rock stars in this room. There is an awards ceremony tomorrow for lunch for the eHealthcare Strategy Awards. That one I like to call the MTV Music Awards. So that'll be fun, and congratulations, and have a great afternoon.